What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video where we are currently chilling on the PTS, just testing out some of the changes that they have delivered. So don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and let's get straight into it. Alright, so first up, this one isn't anything that they've actually changed, but it's something that I actually wanted to test and I didn't get a chance to test during the phase 1. And it's the Overdog's gloves. Now I think these are actually pretty good. Because you get 30% amp damage to the lowest ranking enemies within the tier hierarchy. Now, what's really good about these is that unlike the Shroud, that it wants it the opposite way around, you get a lot more fodder, I would call it, when you are playing a mission. And therefore, you're going to hit these, quite often. But what I wanted to test it with was Negotiators, because Negotiators is really quite a powerhouse. It's not used often as it should be. I think more people should try it out and use it. You get a huge amount of critical hit damage from it, and it's really good to use. And if that damage does spread from this 30% amp, you don't necessarily have to worry too much about the hierarchy. You can just spread your damage around and you're probably going to be doing some really good damage. So this is a lower damaging of the LMGs. It's not that good, but it has a lot of CC effects with it, and it has a huge magazine as well. I absolutely love the blue screen for playing solo, and we're just gonna go in and give it a go and kind of see if it actually works out or not, because 30% amp is huge. Now we already know that we're not going to be... The tanks were on the tier 1 list. But that was pretty crazy. We killed him really fast. So it's 780 then to him. Does the blue screen mark overwrite the Negotiators mark? That's a bit weird. I mean, I feel like I'm just deleting things right now. Did we literally kill that entire thing then just by getting the mark tagged? Pretty crazy if we did. Just try and get a few extra tags on then. Gladly kill you. We're at max damage now for Negotiators, and we're critting for 840 then on the red. Which is, pretty good. They're just gonna like chill. I think that's the mini tank there, right? Yeah, works pretty well. So I'll tell you what we'll do then now is let's change this just to Contractor's gloves. Make sure our stats are still good. Yeah, they're still good. And just kind of look at the damage numbers difference. And obviously we could do the exact maths about it, but sometimes it's more like how it actually plays.
You've got your objective. Don't let anything stand in your way.
Yeah, I mean, that felt like it was pretty easy unless I've just warmed up a bit. And we were hit for 800 and we're only just on the cap. Halfway to the cap on negotiators, so... Oh, did I not collect ammo? That would be a wounder of a test. There's only 130 bullets left. $760 and we're at the cap now. I'll throw this here, just kind of run and hope for the best. I think the Overdogs are probably just going to outperform Contractors, you know, eyeballing numbers. Which is odd because I feel like I'm having an easier time with Contractors. Yeah, so we are definitely getting higher numbers with the Overdogs by about 100k. Right. Just eyeballing it, and obviously then that extra damage will be spreading. Now the question is, does the amp actually apply to the spread? I mean, that's not an easy thing to necessarily test, but you know, off feeling, yeah, these are actually pretty good. Now the question is, how good in reality when we have the Tinkerer? Would we put the Overdogs in over the Tinkerer and then gain an extra weapon damage talent? That is questionable. But I think it will be close. That 30% amp is a lot of extra damage, and if you play to this hierarchy and get your gameplay to it, I think actually there's probably something to be said that these are actually really good. And then you also get back the opportunity to run, you know, the different types of guns where you don't have to worry too much about ammo. You know, I could have, when I ran out of LMG ammo, then I could have switched to my Lexington and, you know, not necessarily had to worry about anything. So, you know, they get an absolute thumbs up from me. I'm probably gonna, you know, if this is how they end up coming into the game, I will run some maths numbers on them and you'll get some spreadsheet videos from me as well. But as of right now, these look pretty good. They look pretty solid. If they make the changes to these, that they're only for enemies that are in combat, so we don't get any of that, you know, bleeding over to other areas where there's enemies that might actually be a higher tier in the hierarchy, and we're not actually fighting them, so they actually count and they kill our damage. So as long as they get that change in that they said in the patch notes that's coming to the actual, you know, release, the full release, they've just not got it into the second phase of the PTS. I think these are actually a solid choice, especially when you don't want to run Coyote's Mask, or if someone else is running that, or you're not running the Tinkerer. So yeah, solid choice. I like them. This is the build that I was running. I'm going to put the Exodus gloves back on. The stats are, well, maybe I'm overcooking the crit chance now. Was I overcooking the crit chance? Let's just check. Damage, crit damage. Stats. Give or take. I was overcooking it a little bit. But yeah, 54.5 crit chance, 173 crit damage. I mean, going to 60.5 on crit chance is probably worth it because of the sheer amount of crit damage extra that we get from Negotiator's Dilemma. And obviously then you're getting diminishing returns. So the extra crit chance actually probably pays better dividends at that point. And only being 0.5 over is definitely not the end of the world. But then I was running the mask with double crit damage. The backpack with double crit damage, the knees with crit damage, then the holster you just seen me change to crit damage. I probably should have max that out, but this is the PTS and I couldn't find my legitimate one. And then a Cheska chest with the Overdogs, not with the Exodus. But yeah, good build, works a treat, and I think you know, unless we need to kind of figure out if the 30% is bleeding over to negotiators, but as for now, yeah, really, really good. Thanks for watching, agents, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.